Hello everyone and welcome back to KORR Monsters. This week we are in St. Louis, Missouri to mark the midway point of the 2009 season. Our field of trucks for this event kicks off with Herbert Miller in Airborne Assault, Ed Jenkins in Combatic Gaskets, rookie driver Sam Carter in Cottonmouth, Fred Malone in Damage Control, Joe Johnston in Get Wrecked, Jim Baxter in Howler, two-time defending racing champion Harper Ray in Line-X Defender, Logan Hopkins in Nemesis, former racing champion Kinsley Parks in NGK Igniter, another former racing champion Trip Cassidy in Rat Trap 6, Will Baldwin in Snowcat, and rounding out our field, Curtis Sparks in Wildcat. Now to get the event started, we'll be going into racing with 4 trucks getting a bye run into round number 2, those being Line-X Defender, Wildcat, Howler, and Comedic Gaskets. But before we get to those trucks, we have to go through round number 1 of racing. And to kick off round 1, we'll be seeing NGK Igniter going up against Nemesis, a battle of the teammates, Rat Trap 6 going up against Cottonmouth, Damage Control going up against Airborne Assault, and then Get Wrecked going up against Snowcat. Now first race pulling to the line, NGK Igniter and Nemesis. And away we go. Good start out of both trucks. The first turn looks like Nemesis having a little bit of issue in the turn. Not too far behind Igniter right now. Coming through the last turn. It's going to be close at the line, it looks like. Coming to it. It's going to be Kinsley Parks and NGK Igniter getting the win, though, over Nemesis. Now battle of the teammates, Rat Trap 6 versus Cottonmouth. Two of the baddest race trucks we have right now. Rat Trap absolutely nailed the light. Cottonmouth a little slow on it. And Cottonmouth really wide in the turn, almost hit the container. But it's a race at the line still, almost a dead heat. Coming to the finish line. And it's going to be Trip Cassidy and Rat Trap getting in trouble, but picking up the easy win and getting into the container there at the finish line. Next up, Damage Control going up against Airborne Assault. And Damage Control absolutely nailed the light. Airborne Assault was sleeping on it. Now Airborne Assault going really wide in the turn as well. Big lead now for Damage Control, about a truck or so. Coming to the final turn, and it's going to be an easy win for Damage Control going into round number 2. Airborne Assault again going out pretty early here in the bracket. Now last race of round number 2, Get Wrecked going up against Snowcat. And both trucks really good on the light, but Snowcat just a little bit quicker. Coming across the line the first time, and no doubt about it, Snowcat's got about a 2-truck lead going into the final turn. Get Wrecked making it a race at the end, but Snowcat with the easy win gets into trouble, brings it back down onto all 4 wheels. Now for round number 2 of racing, Line-X Defender will be going up against NGK Igniter, Wildcat will be going up against Rat Trap 6, Howler will be going up against Damage Control, and then Comedic Gaskets will be going up against Snowcat. First race of round number 2 pulling up to the line, Line-X Defender and NGK Igniter. And Line-X Defender quicker on the tree, but not by too much. Of course, both these drivers former racing champions. And Kinsley Parks, NGK Igniter, has the lead right now. Coming to the final turn. At the line, it's going to be NGK Igniter getting the win. So, little bit of an upset there over the reigning racing champion. Now we have Wildcat and Rat Trap 6 pulling the line. Great start out of both trucks. Now Rat Trap going wide in that turn. A lot of trucks in the yellow lane going very wide that first turn. Here we go, coming to the line. It's going to be close. It's going to be Rat Trap picking up the win, however. In what was definitely the closest race of the night so far. Next up, we got Howler going up against Damage Control. Good start out of both trucks. Howler a little quicker. And again, Damage Control going wide. At the line, pretty close. Slight advantage to Howler, though. And coming to the line. It's going to be close. It's going to be Howler picking up the win. A lot of trucks in that blue lane picking up the win here tonight. Now we have Comedic Gaskets going up against Snowcat, last race of round number 2. And Snowcat absolutely nailed that light. Ed Jenkins is no slouch, but he was sleeping on that one. And Snowcat, absolutely massive lead. It's a new chassis for Ed Jenkins and Comedic Gaskets. Still not quite used to it by the looks of it. Snowcat gets the win. Up onto 2 wheels, up and over into the dumpster. Don't know if the officials are going to allow him to continue here in racing. We could be seeing, and yes we will, it'll be Comedic Gaskets getting the move into round number 3 going up against Howler. But before we get to that matchup, we got to go through NGK Igniter and Rat Trap 6. As these 2 trucks pull up the line, waiting on the green, and away they go. Once again, pair of former racing champions. And Tripp has a massive lead right now, coming through the final turn. And no doubt about it, it's going to be Rat Trap 6 picking up yet another win here. So Rat Trap 6 moving on into the semifinals. Who will he be going up against? Will it be Howler or will it be Comedic Gaskets? Great start out of both trucks. Once again, the truck in the yellow lane going very wide turn 1. It's all going to come down to this. Looks pretty close so far. Great turn out of both trucks. Howler's going to get the win, and Comedic Gaskets absolutely just yard sailed the front end of that truck, trying to get the win. We'll have to see if he can come back for Freestyle or not, but right now, we're on to the finals. It's going to be Rat Trap 6 versus Howler. Who gets the win here in St. Louis? Good start out of both trucks. Coming by the line the first time. Looks pretty close so far. Slight advantage to Rat Trap. It's all going to come down to this last turn. And Rat Trap is going to get the win, but not by a whole lot over a Howler. So Tripp Cassidy and Rat Trap, your racing winner here in St. Louis. As now we get ready for Freestyle, you can see the order. We're going to start off with Wildcat, then we'll go into Nemesis, Get Wrecked, Howler, Cottonmouth, Damage Control, Snowcat as long as that truck's okay, Comedic Gaskets if they can get that truck fixed. Then we'll see our racing winner, Rat Trap. Then we'll have Airborne Assault, Linex Defender, and NGK Igniter to round us off. Now to get us started, we have Curtis Sparks coming out in Wildcat. Have to see what he can do here. Looks like he lost a tooth in racing. Thought about going for a slap wheelie, thought better of it, just went for a little combo there to get us started. And going for another hit on that other van stack. Goes for the slap wheelie that time. Put it down pretty quick. Comboed it right back up at the back of the blue lane. And now looks like we're going to get a set of donuts out of him. Just a couple of rotations. Good air off the racing lane. Curtis, someone who's been around for a while, took a few years off not too long ago. But he's been pretty at home here in this Wildcat truck. Had some good events. And not afraid to get down in Freestyle either. Right now, it's a little lacking from him. I do believe this is the biggest obstacles he's ever seen outside of finals, so understandable if he's a little intimidated by them. But we're down to the last 20 seconds of this freestyle run to get us started. So get some good air off that step up. Time for one more hit here out of Curtis. And he's going to go for that van stack. He's hit pretty much everything out there. So we'll have to see what the judges decide to do with his score. Oh, now he's going to get a little crazy, and up and over he's going to go. It's going to be a 17 from the judges to get us started. So next up, we have Logan Hopkins coming out in Nemesis. I do believe this is only the second time we're seeing this truck. We saw him, I believe, just once last year. So we'll have to see how he can handle this truck. This truck, of course, a teammate to Airborne Assault on the old Airborne Assault chassis. And of course, very unique look to this body with the teeth and everything going on here. A lot of people really like how the truck looks. We'll have to see how Logan shapes up as a driver. This is only his second year driving. Good little slap wheelie there out of him. So Logan definitely still getting the hang of this. Have to see how he progresses as time goes on. Going right after that center hill. Big drop off on the side of it. That hill, it might not look like it on video, but it's about 15, 20 feet tall. Something around there. So it's not a small obstacle as he gets into trouble case to that landing. You got to commit more than that to clear it. 30 seconds left on the clock. Not a bad run out of Nemesis. A little bit better than what we saw out of Wildcat, but I'm still not expecting a huge score out of this run from the judges. Now we're going to get a set of donuts here. Now it's a better set than what we saw out of Wildcat. Maybe not as fast, but a few more rotations. Now 5 seconds left on the clock. Does he get another hit in? And it looks like he's going to. Gets a good little cross thread going over the center mound. And he's going to keep on going. We'll see what he does here for the fans. Walks a little wheelie over that van stack into a slap wheelie. Combos it up with the back of the racing lane. And looks like he's going to park it up on top of the hill. Waiting on the score. It's going to be a 20 from the judges to take the lead for Logan Hopkins in Nemesis. Now next up, Joe Johnston coming out in Get Wrecked. Another teammate truck. This one, teammate to Damage Control. Great sky wheelie to get us started. Of course, this truck on the original Damage Control chassis. Now Joe, once again, only been driving about a year or so. We've seen him a few more times than we saw Logan Hopkins in Nemesis. And he also picked up his first career win in the off-season at another event that wasn't KORR Monsters. So Joe definitely getting used to driving this truck. And we'll have to see how he progresses too. Again, only a couple years driving. And showing a lot of promise. As it looks like he's going to line up for that big jump. And right onto the top of the hill, no problem from Get Wrecked. Coming down to the last 25 seconds of the run here. A little bit of a cross thread on the racing lane. And now he's going to be the first one going over that green stack of cars on that center obstacle. Time for one more hit here. Now he's going to go into donuts to end his freestyle run. And we'll have to see if he's going to end it here, if he's going to go for another couple of hits. And it looks like he's going to keep on going. Good air off that van stack into a slap wheelie. Oh, gets tripped up by the racing lane a little bit. But he's going to recover it, go right back after that center obstacle. Once again, gets into trouble up onto two wheels. And he's going to bring it back down. It's going to be a 21 from the judges. So enough to take the lead, but still plenty of room above him. Now we have Jim Baxter coming out in Howler. We've seen Jim win before. He got a win last season. And looks like he's lining up. Big air off the racing lane to get us started up onto two wheels. And he's going to bring it back down. Now some more good air off the other racing lane. So we've heard word that Jim's going to be leaving Howler at the end of the season, and he's going to go drive for his dad's team. Team moving violation. Apparently they're building a second truck, with rumors that it could be the Flying High identity coming back. Of course, Flying High used to be driven by Huxley way back in the early 90s. He drove it part-time along with moving violation, so if that's true and Jim's going to be moving to Flying High, that should be a great operation there from those two. So it looks like he broke a 4-lane, gets into trouble, up and over, he's going to go. Big hit on the center obstacle. That truck is destroyed. The run's going to get a 21 from the judges. A lot of time left on the clock. Have to think that score was going to be a big score if that did not happen. So next up we have Sam Carter coming out in Cottonmouth. First season driving this Rat Trap 5 chassis. Last year he was driving Rat Trap 3 in some arenas and fairground shows. And now he's moved up into the second truck in Cottonmouth on the really good Rat Trap 5 chassis. We saw this chassis last year. Won 2 out of the 4 racing brackets it was in. And I believe it made it to the finals or the semifinals of the other two. So a crazy good chassis. Sam's just got to get used to it. So we're coming up about halfway through this run right now. Really needs to pick up the pace. Of course, with this being his first year in stadiums, these are definitely the biggest obstacles he's ever seen. So he gets a great sky wheelie over the green stack, up and over. He's gonna go though. Only a 15 from the judges, way too much time left on the clock, and kind of a lackluster run leading up to that. But now we have Fred Malone coming out in damage control. His teammate's got the lead right now, and he's gonna start the same way his teammate did. Great sky wheelie on the yellow lane right in front of the camera. And some good air off that other van stack. And then some more great air off the back of the racing lane. Now he's going to come around. It looks like he's going to go right for the camper that just came out. And he's just going to clip it with the back tire. Have to imagine he might come back around and hit that thing. Thought we were about to get a set of donuts, but looks like no, just lining up for the next hit. Halfway through the run now for Fred Malone in damage control. Gonna get a cross thread out of him going over that big center hill. Now he's gonna take his turn at the big jump and lands it beautifully on the downside. Some more good air off that blue lane. So far, best momentum of the night. At least best momentum that's probably going to fill time. Great little sky wheelie on the green obstacle. And now he's going to walk it across the bus stack crooked. And now just blast through the camper right as time expires. What a way to end off a freestyle run. Now we're going to get a set of donuts out of him. Fred Malone, truck's called damage control. He definitely brought the damage out here tonight. Still just going on those donuts. Finally shuts it down. It's going to be a 23 for damage control. Good enough to take the lead, but still plenty of room at the top. Now Will Baldwin coming out. And what's left of Snowcat. Now this is a rare opportunity. These Baldwin chassis have been around for a while. We've never really gotten a good look at one without the body. You can see just how little there is in front of and behind the shocks on this truck. It's a very stubby truck. Keeps all the weight towards the center, hence why they're so good at racing. and of course also fairly light. I believe these trucks are about 1,000 pounds lighter than pretty much every other truck out there. And of course, you add in the Hemis that these two cats have, making a ton of power, a ton of torque. And these two trucks are monsters. But right now, coming down the last 35 seconds of the run, pretty good run so far out of Will. Maybe a little lacking in the wow factor, but pretty good momentum out of him. Now we're going to get a set of Cyclones out of him. Just a couple of rotations as the truck started to hike up on him. And now he's going to take his turn at that green obstacle. Great air going over it. Lands it on the bus stack. Does he have time for another hit? Yes, he does. Another hit on that van stack to end his time. Now he's going to keep on going. We'll have to see when he decides to shut it down, get his score. 23 to beat. Great sky wheelie there. Walks a wheelie down the racing ramp. Oh, he's going to get into trouble here. Up and over. Same spot Wildcat did, but he's going to land back on all four wheels. And it's going to be a 24 for Snowcat to take the lead. Then we have our racing winner, Trip Cassidy, coming out in Rat Trap. Looks like Kinetic Gasket's not able to come out to Freestyle because of the damage. So we'll move right on to Rat Trap now. Great little slap wheelie there out of Trip. Ended up getting a good hit on that van stack. Little crooked on the landing. Could have gotten into some trouble there. Some good air on the back of that racing lane. So far, pretty good momentum here and some decent air. Great sky wheelie out of Trip Cassidy and Rat Trap. Going a little wide off the track now. And it looks like he's going to take his turn going over what's left of this camper. Huge air off the fan stack. Gets into trouble. Up and over. He's going to go. And it looks like the truck shut off on him. Officials checking on the truck. Looks like it's good to go. Giving him a chance to refire. And there we go. The truck finally gets refired. 34 seconds left on the clock. Clock will restart once he hits his next obstacle. And now the clock gets going once again right through what's left of the camper. Unfortunately, he has to back up now. That's probably going to hurt him. Good hit on the van stack. About 15 seconds left on the clock now for Trip. What can he do to wow these judges here at the end? Get some good air going over the hill, but we've seen bigger. Good hit on the racing lane. That's probably the last hit the judges are going to count. They might count this one. And he put down the slap really way too quick. We'll have to see what the judges are going to score this run. I'm interested to see. So now we're going to get a set. Cyclones here out of Rat Trap. Trucks hiking up onto two wheels. But he keeps on going. Up and over it's going to go. It's going to be a 24 from the judges, so it's going to be enough to tie for the lead, but not enough to take the lead outright. So now we have Herbert Miller coming out, an airborne assault. And up huge air off that little dirt mound to get us started. I'm not even sure if anyone's hit that before now. Great slap wheelie right on the wheelie bar. Herbert Miller has been struggling big in this chassis since he debuted it last year. Mostly in racing, but he's not been afraid to absolutely throw this thing around the track in freestyle. Line it up. Looks like they brought out another camper. And he's just going to clip the top of that one. Halfway through the run now. Good run so far from Herbert. Good air into another slap wheelie right onto the wheelie bar. And combos it up with the back of the racing lane again. Last 25 seconds of the run now. So we get some huge air out of Airborne Assault. And looks like he's going to take his turn at the hill. Huge air. He's going to clear the landing almost. Time for one more hit here. Going back to the camper. Gets more of it that time, but it's still standing. So he's going to get tripped up here. Up and over he's going to go. Not saving that one on his lid. It's going to be a 26 from the judges. Good enough to take the lead, but still a good chunk of room at the top of the leaderboard. With just a couple of trucks left, as now we have Harper Ray, Line-X Defender coming out. Winner of the last 2 racing championships. Now Harper, he's hit or miss in freestyle. He's either going to have a really good freestyle run, or he's going to go over pretty early on, and it's never really a mistake. It's just normally a bad bounce the truck takes that normally does him in. Right for the hill. Not quite the distance we saw out of Airborne Assault or Damage Control. Oh, he's going to go through the camper up onto 2 wheels, and he's going to save it. Halfway through the run now. Huge air out of Line-X Defender. Going for a cross thread on the hill. Not a lot of air, but a pretty good hit. Good air off the racing lane. Momentum's dying a little bit here now. Line up for the green obstacle. Huge sky wheelie. Lands it on the back. And the truck shut off on him. They're going to pause the clock for him. Only 5 seconds left. And they're going to let him refire. Let him keep on going. Time for 1, maybe 2 hits to count here. Absolutely beautiful jump to get the clock restarted. Last hit here from the judges. Another cross thread on the hill. Now the clock is filled. But Defender's going to keep on going here. Cross thread on the van stack. Oh, gets into trouble. Up and over. Is he going to save this one? Yes, he is. And that's going to be time. It's going to be a 26 from the judges. So enough to tie for the lead. So now we have Kinsley Parks and NGK Igniter coming out. Last truck of the night. And they gave her a brand new camper. Now Kinsley, I know, definitely does not want a repeat of what she did in El Paso. Went over about 3 hits in. Oh, looks like she got grabbed by a car on that step up, and she blew a tire already. Not even 20 seconds into the run. She's going to keep on going. Gets into trouble, and she's still on all, well, 3 wheels. One thing's for sure, though. Kinsley is not a sane person. She's going to drive this truck harder now that it's on 3 tires than she would have if it was on 4. Case in point, no one in their right mind was going to try that move she just did. Now she's going to go for the hill. Oh, big shot on the cradle there. Up and over. She's going to go. Loses a wheel. And she's back on to, I guess, 2 wheels now. 2.5. She's still going. 22 seconds left on the clock. One thing's for sure, the wheels are coming off this truck, but the truck itself is still together. So they built her a strong piece. Time for one last hit here. Gets into trouble again. And now loses the left front wheel. She's going to get a perfect 30 with a wheel and a half left on the truck after her freestyle run. So Kinsley Parks is your freestyle winner here in St. Louis. And it'll be Airborne Assault and Linex Defender tied with a 26. Snowcat and Rat Trap tied with a 24. Damage Control with a 23. Get Wrecked and Howler tied with a 21. Nemesis with a 20. Wildcat with a 17. And Cottonmouth with a 15. And then, of course, Comedic Gaskets not coming out to freestyle too much damage caused in racing. But, as always, let us know what you thought about the show down in the comments section below. And be sure to follow us on Instagram to keep up to date with everything going on behind the scenes. And also to get ready for the fan vote coming up here in a couple of weeks, where you get to help decide who gets the 24th and final spot for KORR Monsters Finals 10. But, of course, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in 2 weeks in Indianapolis. We'll see you then.